Antigua and Barbuda's top cop suspended amid a sex scandal, and in sport, 2 silver medals for the Caribbean in swimming at the Commonwealth Games. I'm Ricardo Robertson. This is Caribbean in 10 for Friday, April 6th. I'll be back with the details after the break.
Just transfer these ramekins onto a wire rack to cool to room temperature. Once they're at room temperature, you can pop them in the fridge until they're fully chilled by putting about 1 to 2 teaspoons of sugar over the top of each creme brulee and swirl that around to coat the top evenly. So just start flaming the top and move in a circular motion. That way you're evenly browning the top rather than burning the sugar.
We're gonna do a very light curry. For Nick's bread and chana, they don't heavily curry their chana. Their bread and chana has such a distinct taste, and I have never tasted a better bread and chana. So I'm gonna try to recreate their bread and chana. So I have a very small amount of curry, some turmeric or saffron, some homemade ground masala, black masala,
Antigua and Barbuda's Police Commissioner Wendell Robinson has been suspended as an investigation begins into allegations that he made sexual advances towards 3 junior policemen. The Police Service Commission reportedly gave instructions for Robinson's suspension. Local media reports said the officers had also complained of being victimized after they rejected the top cop's advances, and they have since been asked to be placed on leave because of the stress associated with the alleged incidents. Robinson's suspension came 5 days after Attorney General Steadroy Benjamin wrote to him requesting that he respond to the allegations that he had asked at least one of the policemen for sex and offered to pay. He has so far made no public statement about his suspension. Still in Antigua and Barbuda, the government says it hopes to be able to pass legislation to allow for marijuana to be grown under controlled conditions and processed into medicinal products like any other pharmaceutical. A statement issued after yesterday's cabinet meeting said a group of 4 people, including 3 Canadians with an interest in producing medical cannabis, were invited to cabinet to advise on the kinds of steps required by the government to make growing, harvesting, processing and sale of medical cannabis possible. It added that Cabinet agreed Canada's laws are the best fit for the Twin Island nation to model its own legislation after. In February, the Parliament in Antigua and Barbuda legalized the possession of 15 grams of cannabis for personal use. The recently passed legislation also allows each household to grow up to 4 cannabis plants in order to take the criminal element out of cannabis production. Over in Trinidad and Tobago now, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley says the Cambridge Analytica data mining scandal that the Twin Island Republic has been caught up in will be fully investigated by the Joint Select Committee of Parliament. Speaking following yesterday's cabinet meeting, he said there would be vigorous debate on the matter among members of Parliament. A whistleblower disclosed last week that British political consulting firm Cambridge Analytica carried out a project in Trinidad and Tobago in 2013, which involved accessing raw internet service provider data for the entire country to monitor what people were browsing. Attorney General Faris Alwari announced an audit of all government agencies as a result. And yesterday, the Prime Minister said there would be more investigation, as he pointed out that the information already in the public domain is cause for concern.
On the basis of a thorough investigation by the Joint Select Committee of the Parliament, chaired by Minister Fitzgerald Hines, National Security Joint Select Committee, where persons, both local and foreign, can and will be summoned to explain their involvement in this scandal.
Prime Minister Rowley said local officials have already made contact with external investigative entities under mutual legal treaties on the matter. The Nurses Association of Jamaica is considering taking legal action on behalf of its members affected by noxious fumes at the Cornwall Regional Hospital. President of the association, Carmen Johnson, says the last count revealed that more than 100 nurses have been affected. The association said that between January and February this year, more than 160 nurses visited the staff clinic at the hospital with various complaints. Those included respiratory problems, rashes, headache, loss of memory, weakness in the joints and high blood pressure. Stay with us, your Midday Sport is next. Welcome back. Trinidadian Dylan Carter and Jamaican Alia Atkinson both captured silver on day 2 of the Commonwealth Games in Australia on Friday. The 22-year-old Carter finished second behind South African winner Chad Leclos in a time of 23.67 seconds in the men's 50 meters butterfly final.
Hunter, lane 2. And Carter in 6.
Take your marks.
Leclos was slow off the box there, beaten by Irvine alongside him as they come up here in the 50 butterfly final. As Leclos comes up stroking hard. In lane number 3, it's Coetzee, the South African teammate. Leclos, and down there in lane number 6, Dylan Carter of Trinidad and Tobago. And through goes Leclos now. Leclos and Coetzee. Leclos and Coetzee. I think it's going to be Chad. Chad wins it. Leclos takes the gold medal for South Africa. They get their first of the swimming program. Silver goes the way of Trinidad and Tobago's Dylan Carter, and Coetzee takes the bronze.
Meanwhile, Atkinson clocked 30.76 seconds as she followed home Sarah Vasey of England in the women's 50-meter breaststroke final.
Commonwealth record holder is in lane 4, Alia Atkinson, Sarah Vasey in 5, representing England. Final of the women's 50 metres breaststroke. Atkinson fastest qualifier for Jamaica. Well, very quickly up into a stroke is Sarah Vasey of England in 5. That red hat first to surface. But look at this from Atkinson. She's going really well indeed. Down in lane 7 is Lisa Pickett. The red hat so for Sarah Vasey going well though. She could get a medal here, and if she keeps on going, she could win this. She's starting to build it through, Sarah Vasey of England. She looks really good. Maybe starting to tire a bit. Jessica Hansen of Australia coming through. Come on, Vasey. Sarah Vasey's got it. I think she has. She has. Gold medal to Sarah Vasey of England. Oh my word, what a swim that was, and what a massive surprise it is too. Look at that. Oh my goodness me, what a way she swam it.
Of course, we'll give you more action in the Commonwealth Games as more events progress during the day. Now that's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.